a Laker maniac, and he is the Archbishop of the Bronx Sexuals. Welcome back to Prince and Barty.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We are back. Episode 128. 128. Prince and Barty, the best sports show in the world. What's up, good brother?
Man, this football Sunday was one of the best football Sundays I've had in a long time.
No, 100%. 100%. Before we get into that, man, let's talk about the woman, the myth, the legend, Joe Wilson, man. She is a monster, man. You know, obviously, this is her fourth MVP. 4 MVP. She got the rings. Listen, man, I know, you know, marketing and I know the politics of everything. We talk about Angel Reese. We talk about Caitlin Clark, Paige Beckers, and, you know, Stewie, Breonna Stewart, you know, all these players. But Asia reigns supreme. Like, she's the big dog. And speaking of big dog, that's what she reminds me of, man. You know, Big Dog Robinson, get it from anywhere. She's a bucket, man. Just quick, size. She could do it all on the court, man. So what do you think about what she's doing and the history she's making?
That's a great comparison. Glenn Robinson was a beast for the Bucks. But what I like about her level of dedication, what she's doing for the Aces, she's a winner. She's a beast. I mean, what can you really say about her? But she's a level of consistency. The thing that kind of gets me upset about it is that she's drowned out with all these other stars. But she, to me, is more the face of WNBA because her level of consistency. Some might even say because she's not as flashy, she's something like what LeBron was to the NBA back in the day when the flashy players was coming in, the Kevin Durant's, the Steph Curry's, you know, like we always would say, chicks love the long ball. People want to see more Caitlin. They want to see more Angel Reese, but they don't want to see what Aja's doing, man. She's a beast. She deserves it. I wouldn't be surprised if she's VP next year. She's going to be a champion again. I don't think no one else is going to stop her. She's a beast, man.
For sure, man. Let's just go through this real quick. She's in the MVP club, 4 or more MVPs. We got the great Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Aja Wilson. So no other great female that we consider great. So she might go down as the GOAT while y'all playing. So salute to her. Salute.
Well, that's definite, man.
Nah, for sure.
That's definite. 100%.
Let's keep the train moving, man. Mike Trout. 400 home runs. You know, Mike Trout, man, I feel like he's been playing forever in the majors, man, using him on all the video games back in the day. What do you think about somebody like Mike Trout, man? Like I said, we've been knowing about Mike Trout for a decade plus, and he's still playing at a high level.
You know, one thing I like about Mike Trout, he doesn't just hit the home run. He bats for average. He plays defense. He does everything on the field. He's a consummate professional. He's been playing so long. I mean, listen, man, they need to build a statue for him outside that stadium for all that he's been doing. I mean, when you look at the club that he's a part of, there's not very few that's in that club. Of course, I think Barry Bonds is in that club, McGuire, a few other big names, and to see what he's doing and what he's done as far as 400, man. I mean, right now, I don't think that there's anybody in baseball other than maybe Bryce Harper or even Aaron Judge who can get those type of numbers. Maybe even Ohtani, he can do it as well. But just looking at what he's been doing and how he's a consummate hitting the ball, I mean, he very seldomly gets injured. He's always playing. I mean, it's great to know that he broke that milestone. Shout out to him.
Yeah, bro, I'm looking at it now. His debut was July 8th, 2011. So he's been doing this a long time at a high level, you know. Three AL most valuable players, 2014, 2016, 2019. So Mike Trout's a bad boy. Salute to him, man. Definitely a Hall of Famer, first ballot. But, man, you know, I want to talk to you about this super random, but I want to talk to you about Skip Bayless, man. You know, our boy Skip, he's bounced back. Him, Keem Talib, Gilbert Arenas. You know, Gilbert must be, like, renting out his house, bro, because every show was in his house, and they just flipped the set around. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. What you think about Skip, man? I think for me, man, I enjoy Skip's takes. Like, he's always prepared. You know, I know as a sports journalist, you got to respect, you know, his preparation and dedication to the craft. So it's good to hear his voice again, you know, on some content. What you think about Skip back in the game?
John Skip Bayless, man, we know he's covered so many teams, the Chicago Bulls, the Dallas Cowboys. He worked for the LA Times. He's done a lot. And even after he was left for dead after Fox Sports, he still resurrected his career. I shout out to Gilbert, though, for him giving him that opportunity to open that door. I think having Talib on there, because Talib always was a controversial player. So you always need some controversy on a show. What they're doing in Gil's Arena with that particular show is great. I mean, we saw for a point in time, Skip was debating fans. He would do that via YouTube, trying to get his podcast up and running. Now to see what he's doing on Gil's show, it's what's up, man. I mean, I think sometimes when I watch it though, and I listen, some of Gil's takes be good, but he's still coming from a different lane. Right. And when you see Skip is the same Skip. Skip's gonna be controversial. He's gonna get on LeBron. He's going to ride with his Cowboys. He's going to hate the Eagles except for Jalen Hurts. I mean, this is who Skip Bayless is. He's made a career off of that. And I mean, he was the one that basically invented the debate show. Cold pizza back on First Take to now what he's doing with Gilbert. I mean, we're looking at years of being one of the greatest debaters in sports history.
Nah, well said, man. Salute to Skip, man. Definitely one of the GOATs. Theatrics aside, like imagine he got people hating his guts, getting death threats. That's how good he is at his role and entertaining, because it's all entertainment at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. But let's get into this Barty report, man. A lot of NFL to talk about, man. I'm feeling bitter, bro. I'm feeling bitter. Danny Dimes is still succeeding, bro. They gonna have to drug. First it was old boy Sam Darnold. Before, like I don't know what's going on with these second chance we're gonna call them second chance quarterbacks just dominating.
Well, I mean, you look at all these second chance quarterbacks that's playing: Carson Wentz, Mac Jones, Danny Dimes, Mr. Indiana Jones himself. He got the whip. He riding the horse. So when you look at it, and we had this conversation before, when Dable originally got the Giants, he made his team on the basis of a running first, defense, and then they were able to move. So now he's on the team with the same mentality. You got Jonathan Taylor, a run first running back. He had over 100 yards. He had 3 touchdowns. You have the defense in Indianapolis and what they're doing in Indy. Everything just fits perfectly. You got Zaire Franklin at the middle linebacker. Everything fits perfectly. It's like a chessboard. The queen is going to be here. The king is going to be here. The bishop is going to be here. And they're going to play. And so I think, as you would always say in boxing, styles make fights. Systems make players. And so the system fits perfectly for Danny Dimes. The system fits perfectly for Mac Jones. The system fits perfectly for Carson Wentz. If you put them in the right system, they're going to shine. It's not always necessarily the coach or the team, it's the system. And so for right now, Danny Dimes' system has him looking good, and they're going to keep winning because that AFC South is probably one of the worst divisions in NFL right now.
Nah, for sure. And it got me thinking, bro, like when you look at like the most important positions in our sport, quarterbacks obviously always number one. You got your pitcher, you got your point guard, you got your, your striker in soccer, your forward in hockey, right? Different positions, right? But when you look at the backup quarterback, that's like a premium now. Like if say you're a first round pick, right, and you kind of fizzle out, you mess around and become a quality second stringer, you can make a lot of money. Look at Fitzpatrick's earning. The boys made money. So what do you think about like your second string got to be almost as good as your first string? A 1B. Joe Burrow goes down. Purdy goes down. Justin Fields went down. Tyrod Taylor played today, bro. Think about that. So, like, what do you make of like the back?
The NFL, one thing I noticed about the NFL, as you hear me say it all the time, is not National Football League. It's not for long. If you have a bad offseason, a bad training camp, there's a good chance you can come in and be injured. So it's all about the next man up. And the thing that I love about it is this: all these guys get a chance to get a job. We look at Sam Darnold. Look at what he did where he was at, and now he's a starting quarterback in Seattle. It's very hard to find quarterbacks in the NFL, especially when you're drafting. You look at what happened with Alabama. Tua, you got Mac Jones, and you got Jalen Hurts. Everybody was high on Mac Jones. Everybody was high on Tua. Jalen went to Oklahoma, became the quarterback who he is now. But you have to groom the quarterbacks the right way in college in order for them to come into the pros and be who they are. And so the thing I like about it is these guys get a second opportunity on their jobs. And then also it shows coaching too. They know who is the consummate professional backup to put in, and now everybody can get a job. I mean, if you look at it, everybody says Purdy is Mr. Relevant. Mac Jones could come in and steal his job and be the number one in San Francisco.
Nah, for sure, man. But shoot, speaking of Danny Dimes, Jonathan Taylor, man, he went crazy. I know you say your brother has him, in fantasy. So I know he happy, just Kool-Aid smile right now. But just talk to us about how that opens up Danny Dimes' game, just having somebody like Taylor behind him.
Well, I mean, you look at most teams, man. The best season that Lamar Jackson had as far as passing and percentages was with Derrick Henry.
Right.
The best season as far as a winner for Jalen Hurts was with Saquon Barkley. Troy Aikman from the late 90s. His best seasons were with Emmitt Smith. John Elway won a Super Bowl. He won two Super Bowls with Terrell Davis. When you have a great running game is like having the best wife in the world because it just smooths everything out. It makes your job easy. And that's the thing. So a running game for a quarterback is better than a tight end. It's better than a Jerry Rice because what it does is your offense is balanced. So now when they're putting 8 in the box to stop the run, there's only a few people in the back to stop the pass. I mean, we look at the game today with the Rams and the Eagles. Everybody was up front on Saquon. And that's why Jalen was able to get the ball to the receivers. So for Danny Dimes, the passes that he wasn't able to throw in New York because the offensive line wasn't good for Saquon, he can do now in Indianapolis because you have a great offensive line, you got a great running game, and you basically everybody can get open. And then don't forget his receiving core is a beast, Prince. He got Michael Pittman. Right. He has Tyler Warren, the number 1 tight end in the draft. I mean, he has pieces at the receiver position that are going to constantly get open. And when you put 8 in the box, there's going to always be someone open. The one thing about it is it's like chess. You move your bishop up, I know where I'm going. You move your queen, I know where I'm going. You watch, you play off the opponent's moves. It's tactical.
No, for sure, man. Let's get to this Dolphin conversation, man. You might as well just go and send me that bread now, man, because it's getting ugly, man. For all our listeners, man, go back and listen to our I think it's episode 126, I believe. Go back and listen to that Dolphin episode, man, because I said it on there. I said they might start off 0-6, and you could go at timestamp, look at the video. I said 0-6, and if I get that, woo, y'all gonna be mad. But man, Mike McDaniels, his press conference kind of was telling a lot, man. He was just like, hey, quarterback has to make better decisions. Like, he was they just throwing each other on the bus now, man. The week before it was, Tua saying the receiver didn't run the right route. It was his fault. It's getting ugly in Miami, man. Make sense of it for me.
Well, the biggest issue, and we've had this before, but McDaniels is a coordinator. He's not a coach. A coordinator can only call plays for offense or for defense. They're not a head coach. To be a coach, you have to be able to lead men. And if you can't lead men, people are not going to follow. So when you get into tough situations and they see your palms are sweaty, when you get into tough situations and they see the beads of sweat coming down your forehead, when you get into tough situations and you don't know how to make the right call, they're not going to respect you. So it starts from the top. So you got Ross, the owner. He doesn't know what he's doing. Then you got the GM. He doesn't know who to bring in. Then you have the head coach who doesn't know what he's doing. And then finally, you got Tua Tagovailoa. Tua is still reeling from all those concussions. And so now when he gets into key situation, he throws a pick like he did on Monday. When you get into key situations, the special teams coach had Sealer. He ran into the kicker. All these things are things that you stress to your players so you don't get into these situations. And so, unfortunately, I mean, the Dolphins are going to continue to lose because leadership is not where it's supposed to be. And when leadership isn't where you're supposed to be, it's going to be hard for people to follow.
No, for sure, man. Let's talk about your Birds, man. Big win. Like we was talking earlier, I thought y'all was cooked, but y'all, Jalen Hurts, man, he stood in the paint. AJ looked good. Smitty looked good. It was one of the most well-rounded performances for y'all, for me. I guess because y'all always usually be up, so y'all don't play from behind often. That was the knock against Dak when, just get the lead on him, because once he got to keep throwing, he's eventually going to throw a pick. What I'll give Jalen, he never had that. He steps up during those pressure moments where Dak folds. Salute to him for that. But I'm seeing a crazy stat. 17-0. They're 17-0 his last 17 games, including playoffs, he's 17-0. He's a winner, bro. Like it's not pretty. It's not. He don't talk, but he just gets it done, man. Talk to us about your boy.
Well, first off, I got a hot take. My first hot take is this: the best number 2 wide receiver in the league is Devontae Smith. It's not T. Higgins. It's not Addison. It's not anybody you think. It's definitely not Jalen Waddle. It's Devontae Smith. He will be a starter on anybody's team. The Eagles' receiving corps is just a beast, man. Jalen does have the pieces to do what he wants to do. You know what I see when I see Philly, and I know this sounds crazy. I see those old 49ers. You remember you had Jerry Rice on one side and you had John Taylor. And I think that they have the best tandem receiver corps in the league right now. And so with what teams like to do, they want to put people in the box to stop the run. All Jalen has to do is make the right read, and he's fine. I think Jalen Hurts, we need to stop saying he's not a top 10 quarterback. We need to stop saying he's not a top 5 quarterback. I think right now Jalen is a top 3 quarterback. If it's about wins and stats, this is what we always talk about in most sports. It's about wins. It's about wins. Jalen Hurts is the 3rd best quarterback in the league. And this is how I view it right now, Prince. I know it's going to sound crazy. I got Josh Allen 1. I got Patrick Mahomes 2. I got Jalen Hurts 3. Jalen Hurts is better than Joe. Jalen Hurts is better than Lamar Jackson, because it's no reason for us to keep putting Lamar Jackson up there and he can't win big games. I love Lamar. Lamar's a good player as far as his stats and what he can do. But as far as a winner, he's not a winner. And Jalen Hurts wins games. You know how much respect you have for Matthew Stafford. You always tell me how much you respect. He outdueled Matthew Stafford for that whole second half. He outthrew him. He outplayed him. He made the reads at the right time. Then also you got to look at, too, our right tackle got hurt. You know, right tackle went down and we put another person in. They made a few adjustments. They didn't miss a beat. Everybody always says the engine that keeps the Eagles going is Saquon. This was probably one of Saquon's lowest rush per averages. I think he was averaging like 2.2 a carry. They were selling on the run. And so we were buying the pass. And the pass is what won us the game. And the Eagles pulled out a win. Of course, they were at home. But another thing, too, we have to talk about. Georgia has some beasts of some defensive tackles. Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter. Man, they blocked 2 field goals back to back. Like the Eagles' 2 defensive tackles are probably the 2 best defensive tackles in the league. Davis, I think he weighs like 400 pounds. He blocked the kick, picked up the kick, and ran it for a touchdown. I mean, that big dude could outrun me right now. I mean, of course, he's supposed to, but that dude had put the jetters on, picked up that ball, went and got a touchdown. It was a big win for Philly. Right now, if I was just giving my power rankings for the NFL, Eagles is still number 1. Eagles is number 1. And another thing we got to highlight too, Prince, and I want to talk about this when we go to the next subject, but what happened to the Green Bay Packers? Because they lost to the Cleveland Browns. Like, everybody was so high on them. They were claiming them, well, this is the best team in the league, and they went into Cleveland. And they lost to the same team that the Ravens blew out. We have to pump the brakes on these teams that don't look like it. I think the 2 best teams in the NFL right now is the Bills and the Eagles. That's just my opinion.
Nah, I mean, I can't argue. But stay with me real quick. I want to, because you said something about AJ and Smitty, the best duo. So let me throw a what if at you, because we can do a what if. And I just want to see who you choose and why. What if you give Smitty and AJ Aaron Rodgers in his prime, right? And you give Jalen Waddle and you give Tyreek, Patrick Mahomes in his prime. What duo are you taking and why?
I still got to take Patty, because we saw what Patty can do with Tyreek. I've seen what Aaron Rodgers has done with great receiving corps, because we saw he beat Pittsburgh in a Super Bowl. But if Patty's never had a 1 and 2 at wide receiver. He's always had a 1 wide receiver and a 1 tight end. That's why even in these debates of who's the best quarterbacks in the league, we all know if Patrick Mahomes had Rasheem Rice right now and Xavier Worthy, it would be a different conversation. They may be 2-1 or they may be 3-0. When Patty's receivers are healthy and he has a speedster and a tactician at wide receiver, Mr. Patrick Mahomes, listen, it's very hard to find someone who's better than him. The eye test is about the same for both of these guys, but the span of what Patrick Mahomes has done in these last 3 years is crazy.
Nah, I agree. That's what I was like, yeah, that's because those 2 are my favorite as far as like arm talent. So it'd be interesting to like, because that's the thing where Jalen still gets it done, but it's like, man, what if AJ and Smitty had like a dead eye quarterback? what would that look like? But man, let's talk about your boy, man, King James. King James just sat down with Complex, Speedy Norman, and it was a dope interview, man. Obviously, I think they have a relationship, so he was just super comfortable talking to Braun. It was like, I guess for me, when Braun does interviews, he does it in a way where he's protected, if that makes sense. They don't ask him hard questions. It's just very political answers. But I think this do ask him about, yo, what's up with you and Drake? What's up with this? He kind of called him out on a few stuff. Just what do you think and LeBron did say something. He was like, yo, who's the hardest guy you ever had to guard? And he said, I don't even want to, I forgot the guy's name. One of his childhood,
Yeah.
he said that was his toughest cover. Do you think LeBron is doing that just to show the hometown hero love, or does he really believe that playing against Kobe, playing against T-Mac? Like, come on, what you calling cap or just politics?
We've already known LeBron James. I'm a biggest Bron fan. It's cap, straight cap. We watched Melo drop 40 on him. We watched Kobe drop 40 on him. We watched him run around screens chasing Steph Curry. And you're telling me that the player that you called out is better than these guys. That's a lot. I remember when people would say before they played Jordan, they wouldn't go to the club because I'm playing Mike. Why would I go to the club? I got to get my sleep. And I think that's the same mindset he had before he would play Kobe, or before he would play Melo, or before he would play even Kevin Durant. I think probably the hardest person Bron has ever guarded was KD, because we watched KD consistently on a consistent basis give him 30 to 35. So in my opinion, I would say Kevin Durant. I like that he said it's going to always be love for Drake, but that situation is going to always be issues because he sided with Kendrick, so it's going to be what it is. It is what it is. But I mean, it was a great interview. It was a great interview. I mean, we know this is probably the last year he's going to play, maybe in the NBA, because I know his wife is saying that he wants him to retire. 23 years is a long time, buddy. Very long time.
Nah, for sure, man. Something else that kind of stood out to me too was when the guy was like, "How long do you remember being normal?" And he was like, "Yeah, man, I remember running around the projects." And he was like, "Wow, you can't even remember like being normal as an adult." Because he said from when like he was in 10th grade or ninth grade, they won a national title. He was LeBron James since then. So like, can you imagine like the Michael Jacksons, like the Ushers back in the day, like these young phenoms? Their life is in the public eye.
Well, let's look at it. What we see, you had Michael Jordan coming to your high school games. That's it. You had Kobe Bryant coming to your high school games. I mean, we're talking about a guy that when he was in high school, people went to see him. They went to see how he played. They said he played against junior year, he played against Ron Artest, Jordan in a practice game. I mean, this guy's been doing this from a teenager. And I mean, we very seldomly see phenoms like that. And I mean, I remember I was in Memphis one time, and somebody was telling me a time when Penny Hardaway dropped 100 points in a high school game. I was like, 100 points, Penny? Wow. And it blew my mind. But when you're a star of that caliber, people are going to follow you from that age. They're going to groom that talent. They're going to push you. And so LeBron has been a phenom probably since he was in the ninth grade. But he was recognized from the sophomore, but he's been a phenom. So for him to say that, I mean, for people like you said, Prince and Michael Jackson, these things have been going on. I mean, Michael Jackson, from what, 7 or 8, he was singing, and his dad was grooming that group. So these guys never had a childhood. So when they slip up, everybody's like, well, why did they slip up? They never had a childhood. What you expect? They've been in front of the camera their whole life. So you with some of them, you got to give them a little bit of grace.
Nah, for sure, man. Let's talk boxing, man. Obviously, it's Bud Mania. Bud is the man of the hour, and rightfully so, man. That I think the boxing world is just on notice right now with kind of what he was able to accomplish. It kind of shows you that you don't need to flash and dash. Like I think he's course correcting what boxing is, right? It still has that almost like, remember how Nas said hip hop was dead? I feel like boxing was dead. Obviously these exhibition fights and just the hoopla felt like a circus, real more wrestling. But I feel like Bud came through and like corrected it with just skill. Just like I always say, why I love boxing, it's one of the oldest art forms. You can't cheat it. You can't play boxing. And the other obviously is comedy. You can't fake comedy. It's raw, it's real. That's why we love it. It's just anybody can be funny. your neighbor, Eddie Murphy. Like there's no levels of funny, right? And I think the same thing was with boxing. If a dude got hands, he got hands. What do you think about just like post Bud, post that fight on just the feeling of boxing right now?
Well, when you look at boxing, and it's not my repertoire, but from what I've seen, you have people who were dodging fighters. People were picking their fights. Bud was not like that. Bud was ready to fight anybody. You want it? Here's the smoke. You ready? Here's the smoke. You got Logan Paul, Jake Paul, and what they're doing as far as making this into a circus of boxing. People coming to fight. We just saw talking about Tyson fighting Mayweather. This is all craziness. Bud has brought the sport back to what it was when we were growing up with Sugar Ray Leonard, Hagler, all these big names. It was tacticians and sluggers going at it all the time. And it's just good to see because the two biggest names in boxing, in Canelo Alvarez and Bud, were able to go against each other. They put on a show. And Bud, the funny thing is, man, the names who everybody thought he would lose to, he beat. All these people thought he was going to lose to Spence, and he killed Spence. All these people thought he was going to lose to Canelo, and he outclassed Canelo. I mean, what can I say? The guy has done what he's supposed to do with boxing. He's the face of boxing, and rightfully so, he should be. I'm looking forward to see what he does next. I mean, everybody's going to want to fight him, and the draw and the purse is going to be crazy. His pockets is going to get lined real quick.
Nah, for sure, man. I think it's interesting these times now because so with social media now, you're seeing little clips, little interviews when he was younger, and kind of getting to know him a little better. I seen a clip today where I guess his first time boxing, man. I think one of his coaches was like, "Hey, man, I want to get him in the ring. I think he could be good." And his first time sparring was with Timothy Bradley, bro. Remember Tim Bradley from back in the day?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine him Tim Bradley won some belts. Like he had a really good career in his weight class,
Mm-hmm.
a respectful career. And for you to be sparring him back in the day, like you're gonna be a beast. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, salute to Bud, man. But what you got going on, man? What's been good? What you looking at movie wise? What you looking at?
I've been watching Peacemaker. It's actually a good series, man. It's the second, I would say, series of the James Gunn DCEU. It's getting good. It's parallel universes. I don't want to go into too many spoilers, but y'all definitely take a look at that. I've heard some good things about the new Conjuring movie. There's other movies that's coming out. I still haven't seen Weapons. I know we both was talking about going to see Weapons. Everybody says Weapons is dope. As far as it goes, man, there's stuff that's coming out. One thing that got me upset with the movie world was they pushed back the Mortal Kombat. It was supposed to come out, but they're pushing it back to next year. So next year's a big year for movies because from what I'm hearing, we're going to have great Marvel movies. I can't wait to see Doomsday. So, I mean, for right now, the movie scene is going down. It's more on the TV series. So that's all I'm really watching outside of that.
No, for sure, man. I want to give our fans, listeners, and followers a shout out, man. We appreciate y'all so much. I didn't even tell you this. So I'm looking at our analytics. The last 7 days, hundreds and hundreds of downloads. It's crazy.
Wow.
Like hundreds of downloads within the last 7 days. So we appreciate y'all, man. We dudes who just really love talking sport, just our therapy. Y'all just really in on the therapy session. So we definitely appreciate y'all.
That's a fact.
Yeah, man. We got 7 minutes left. So
Oh, sure. All right, I got one for you real quick before we go. Let's do basketball. We're going to do Centers Edition. All right?
Yeah.
First one I'm going to go with. The captain. All right. Dwight Howard.
Cut.
All right. Akeem, the Dream, Olajuwon.
Keep, for sure.
Now, you only got one more key.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go with the Admiral, David Robinson.
Cut.
Okay. Let's go with Shaquille O'Neal.
Keep.
All right, so you used all your keeps. So you kept Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you kept Akeem Olajuwon, and you kept Shaquille O'Neal. So now let's see. You got two cuts left. So let me let you know who you've cut. All right. You cut our Jamaican center from Georgetown. We done cut the Yardie, man. You cut Patrick Ewing. And the last person that you cut, which was nobody important, I'm not CJ McCullough, but McCullough from the Nets.
Oh man, that's Todd McCullough.
Yeah, Todd McCullough. But you kept it, man. Definitely kept it. But yeah, you already know what it is. It's keep 3, cut 4. That's what we do.
Yes, sir, man. Let's talk some money real quick, man. Like I've seen some stuff that I want to Discuss, man. Salute the front office sports. They always got cool little stats, man. Cool little hold on. I saw something with the Bud Crawford fight. Oh, here it is. So the final numbers for viewers on Netflix: 100 million viewers, 41. So it's 108 million for Tyson Paul. Canelo Crawford 41 million, and Floyd, what is that, 36 million? So, bro, it's a lot of people. It's a cheat code, man. Everybody got Netflix. So you could just say all the people who got an account, they tuned in. So you can kind of inflate the numbers.
Well, I mean, we see what the pay-per-view era was. People used to get mad when you would pay for a Tyson fight and the fight would be done in 30 seconds. Tyson knocks him out. So now with Netflix, it increases the viewership because people are not paying that pay-per-view price. So everybody can go on Netflix and watch it. And that will also encourage the numbers of boxing, because that's the issue. The NBA and the NFL, they be cheating because everybody got Fox, everybody got NBC, everybody got ABC, and so you can watch those things. But these other networks, they don't have. You have to pay big money for those type of things.
For sure, man. Real quick, let's go through some speed news, man. Molly Caram leaving ESPN after 19 years, man. Let's get messy, man. What you think? What you think the conspiracy drama is with that, man? Why did Molly leave?
Well, from what my sources tell me, a lot of people say Stephen A is a narcissist, and she just got tired of it. Stephen A is a narcissist. He wants things his way. It's a certain juice he has to have. Then his net worth, what he makes a year, is $40 million. He gets $20 million, but he has other things that he makes $40 million. And so I think the contract that they were giving him was $2 million. So I've been here for 19 years, and you're only going to give me $2 million. So she was sick of it. Disney, if you've seen what Disney's done with a lot of their shows, Fox Sports has been cleaning house. Disney's been cleaning house. And so I think the deal that Molly's going to get wherever she's going is going to exceed the $2 million. So I think it was just a financial thing for her, because she basically, if we're talking about being the host or being the mediator, she's top three in the game. She's eye candy. She's a great mediator. So this is what they want. They want good eye candy in the middle. They want someone who is going to be able to do the mediation. And so the way it is, man, that's the way the game goes.
Man,
at least she ain't Joy Teller.
Right. It's for real. The sports media politics, man. I'm just I like, me, I'm all about independence, man, just owning your IP, owning your thoughts, your creativity, because it's a dirty game, man, where 19 years and listen, Molly didn't create no podcast. She didn't create things outside of being Molly the host. You know what I mean? And I don't know her pocket. She probably got investments in Bitcoin. Who knows? Molly, I'm sure Molly is okay financially, but I'm talking about just as far as her brand with other entities. Hopefully, maybe she's gonna go do that. But wish her the best, man. I know it got to be a pressure cooker, just being in that seat, dealing with Stephen A every morning. But man, that is our show, episode 128. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Keep supporting. Tell a friend to tell a friend that them boys on again, man. Prince and Barty. We appreciate y'all. We out.
We out here, man.